I get on a Steel Bird. I fly to New York. Hawk hops a Hyundai Santa Fe, and he drives to Pomona, California. If you're watching on CBS Sports Network, you can see how it looked. The reason Hawk went to Pomona was to see Cruz Pedregon at the Auto Club NHRA Finals, and he brought Robert, a.k.a. Ross from Friends, a.k.a. the new guy, to the races with him. Now, let me say this. I would have been at the races had I not had my obligation in New York. Or at least I thought that I would have been at the races until I saw Hawk live tweeting his embarrassing appearance there. If you've been to his Twitter feed or mine, you will see the greatest example ever of how not to dress for a day at the drag races, especially as an invited guest. Backwards snapback, $10 shades, maroon skinny jeans, a floral pattern shirt, button to the top, and a porn stash that just screams, unironic creep, punch me in the face. Hawk, it's an NHRA event, not a Skrillex concert. I mean, bro, are you just trolling now? Are you looking to get your ass kicked? Meantime, he shows up, and Cruz and his general manager, Caleb Cox, did not seem to mind how he looked because they gave my guys amazing VIP access and an experience both these guys have been raving about since they got back. Now, since I could not be there and I haven't had time to debrief with Hawk, I'm just going to do it live. Hawk, bring it on in. I want to hear all about this experience because I was not there. I can only follow it online. In fact, this is so important. I want you in the studio here. I'm not going to talk through the glass at you. Joined right now by my EP, executive producer, Adam Hawk. He's in studio. All right, bro, so tell me about it. What was it like? How did the weekend go?
Oh, man, it was incredible. It was so cool. We rolled out there Saturday morning, 11 a.m. in the brand new Hyundai Santa Fe. Definitely one of the cars that I like having people in, unlike the 2001 Camry. So that was pretty sick. Ross, the new guy, came with me. Picked him up in the San Gabriel Valley, and we rolled out to Pomona with my best friend Shane, and the three of us got like the greatest VIP package ever. We had media parking. We got to park as close as we wanted, and then we went straight to the pit in the trailer and hung out with Cruz and Caleb, and they showed us everything, and it was great. But I knew the second that I walked in there that I did not dress for the occasion at all.
No, I'm looking at the pictures, dude. You look horrible. I mean, you look even worse than normal. I mean, did you guys have any idea? Turn your mic on.
It is on. The mic is on.
Did you just, did he just go through the entire answer without a mic on? Did anybody hear what he just said?
Is that what happened? There's no mic?
TV says they didn't get it, but radio did.
Oh, interesting. Should I move back?
Let me ask you, yeah, right? Let me ask you this. Is everybody who needs to be hearing him right now, or does he need to go back on his side of the glass? Because we can do that too. Go back, Dowie. Go back there. That was nice while that lasted. That didn't work so well. Awkward. Anyway, so I think some of you heard the answer and some of you did not. For those of you who did not hear the answer, you didn't miss anything at all. It was just Hawk trying to settle in and being awkward, about as awkward as he looked there. All right, so now you're back where you belong on your side of the glass, Adam. It's not your fault. Did you guys have any idea exactly what it is that you were looking at? Did you have any idea what the NHRA was other than what you had heard from Cruz when he came in studio?
I honestly didn't know what NHRA stood for, and that's not a
Why
joke.
am I not surprised by that? I know that's not a joke, bro.
Robert Ross was super into it. He grew up with his dad going to this stuff, so he was like our unofficial tour guide. He was telling us everything. He was chopping it up with the pit crew. He knew what he was talking about. He could hold his own. I couldn't, but Caleb Cox, the GM of the team and Cruz's right-hand man, was super cool to me about it. He treated me and Shane and Robert with the utmost respect. They showed us how to break down a car and how to put it together. They showed us everything that they fabbed up. They showed us the trailer, and they treated us to the hospitality tent with free lunch and drinks, and it was awesome just kicking it with those guys for sure.
Dude, you were so much better on that side of the glass than you are here, man. You're much more relaxed. Your content's better. I probably should have never brought you in. You know what's amazing is when you talk about the time they spent with you guys, normally on any other day when an athlete's getting ready for a big event, you can't get near these guys. They don't want to have anything to do with anybody except for their focus and their process. It sounds like these guys had a lot of time for you guys. What's the day like for the crew as they get closer and closer to running?
It's a great question. They had 2 runs, one at 12:30, one at 3:30. So it's all about putting the car together and tuning it up, putting the supercharger on, like hitting the throttle, seeing what that's like. And it's so awesome just to stand there and watch them do this, because there's like 8 guys working on a car, and like, I don't know what's going on. It looks like, Tim Allen in his garage on tool time working on his hot rod, but it was pretty sweet to watch. And then they went out at 12:30 for the run, and Cruz walked with me and Robert and my buddy Shane, like an athlete walking out of the tunnel. He like let us go with him, and it was cool. And then he got up to the starting line, and the head of NHRPR, her name is Melissa, she put us right behind the cars. And it was the scariest moment of my entire life, because these things go 0 to 300.
Seriously, I mean, scariest moment?
It was unbelievable. They go 0 to 300 in 4 seconds.
Scarier than when you came out that morning and you lost your car after your wife told you to move it? Even scarier than that?
Second. You're right. Great correction, because I was very scared of my wife's wrath. But yeah, when those cars go off, 2 of them at a time, it just hits you in the chest like an earthquake, and there's nitro fumes in your nose and in your eyes, and it's unbelievable. These guys do it for a living, so it's nothing to them. But they were like filming us watching it, because they knew that we were going to clown ourselves and like jump 10 feet in the air like a scared cat. And it definitely happened, man. It was really, really scary, but really, really fun.
All right, so how did Cruz do?
Cruz did great the first run. He clocked in around 4 seconds. He qualified for Sunday's big race. These were qualifiers that we were at. And then here's the really awkward part. And I'm sorry to sell out the Snap-on crew like this. Shout out to Snap-on. They did not have a great run the second time. Something happened with the wheelie bar, and they barely got off the starting line. And they had told us we're really going to go for it because we just qualified. So we're really just going to go. We're going to go B to the dub, balls to the wall, if you will. And sorry.
Well, you are settling in, aren't you, Hawk?
They went after it, and unfortunately, it didn't go the way they wanted. And this was a couple hours after they had
Did they blame you?
Probably.
I
Bad
would've.
luck. Yeah. And they looked so visibly upset afterwards that there was a really awkward point where we were like, should we just leave and not say goodbye?
Yes.
And we probably should have, but we hung out awkwardly as they took the car apart, and then Caleb came over and said goodbye to us. But I felt really bad, because it was like, I'm sure you've experienced this before, where if something doesn't go right at the racetrack, the last thing you want is like the people that you brought around.
Oh, dude, I mean, as an example, the Breeders' Cup Classic, when Share Belief was the favorite and came out of the gate, and Byron slammed right into us, and NBC carries the event, they had a camera right in my face. And no, I don't want any Larry Brown references, but the camera was maybe 2 inches from my face, waiting for the reaction. And then, to your point, the rest of the night, I had my entire crew with us, and something really bad had happened, and we didn't want to have a bad night for everybody else. So you got to kind of man up, and you got to own it, and you got to handle that thing in a certain way. So, yeah, to answer your question, I've probably had something like that happen, yes.
Yeah, and it's weird, because you're around like the owner, and you're around someone who's got a really vested interest in it, and you so badly want them to do well, and it didn't go that well, and you just wish you could be anywhere but there, but you still got to do the right thing and say goodbye and thank you. But I think they had a great night, because they still qualified. They ran on Sunday, and Caleb told me that, it's the end of the season yesterday, so they go really, really hard at the track after everyone leaves and all the crews are broken down, and they all meet up together, and they cook and they drink and they go nuts from like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And I hope I didn't just rat out a secret of the tour or something like that, but they go hard for sure.
Well, we'll know the next time we call them, if they don't return the call or we can't get them on the show, we'll know that you were saying things you shouldn't have been saying. Like the entire event, like how many people were there? What was the culture of the place like? And how did they treat you? I mean, were people looking at you like, hey, man, you should not be up flossing in here with that porn stash the way you are. You're going to get the hands.
Yeah, me and Ross walking around with just stupid shirts. We looked out of place for sure, but they treated us great. They treated us
especially,
first class.
Hawk.
Yeah, but they treated us first class. The culture is really interesting.
I mean, didn't they look at Ross like, hey, man, the celebrities are all out. That guy from Friends is here.
Schwimmer's here, back from his armed robbery in the UK. Yeah, they were great to us, and we did get some looks, but, everyone's there just to drink beer, chew tobacco, and watch some races, and smoke some cigarettes, and chew more tobacco. And, we fit in not well, but we held our own, I brought a can of Skull to fit in.
Keep telling yourself that. Nice we held our own. So would you do it again?
100%. One of the coolest parts was in between the races talking about the jungle with Cruz. He's been listening since the 90s, so is Caleb. Cruz scores the smack off he scored this smack off. He had Rick and Buffalo up really, really high. So that's really cool that Cruz is that into it. They, on their lunch breaks, they watch the TV show. One of the coolest things, Jim, is they've got 4 of your logos on their car.
Amazing.
And it's valuable real estate, and it's the absolute biggest logo besides the Snap-on logo that they have. And you just can't miss it. Like, it might look small in the pictures on Twitter, but if you go there, it is the biggest Jim Rome sticker I've ever seen in my life. And it's really cool. They got
Sounds
it on both
great.
sides.
I hope the bill does not come. I don't want to go to the mailbox and find out I've been paying for this whole time.
Right.
That can't be cheap. All right, so is there anybody you need to thank? It sounds like they really hooked you up. They went to the mat for you and for Ross. Is there anybody you have not mentioned that you should thank?
I do want to thank Caleb Cox, Cruz Pedregon, the entire Snap-on crew, the Raceway at Pomona, the NHRA, Melissa from the NHRA, who was great. I believe her last name is Coleman. And I'll speak for myself here, not on your behalf at all, but I do not...
never speak on my behalf, ever.
I do not want to thank Tito Ortiz, who did not say hello to us when he dropped by the pit.
Hawk, way to ruin a perfectly mediocre segment by going with something like that. So wait, Tito Ortiz didn't know who you were. Tito Ortiz did not respect you. Tito Ortiz big leagued you, Hawk. Maybe he looked at you and thought, I'm not talking to that bag with the porn stash. Dude, you did not just name drop him in a negative manner, did you?
Tito blew right past me and went straight for Cruz.
Dude, why wouldn't he?
I mean, I don't know, but say what's up, man. Like, have a little respect.
Why don't you step to him?
I was going
to. Why don't you step to Tito Ortiz and say, hey, yo, man. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tito Ortiz. And then keep walking.
I was thinking about it. I was telling Robert, hey, man, hold me back. But no.
You're upset that Tito Ortiz blew right through you to get to Cruz Pedregon. Did you just say that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes, and that's my big takeaway.
Good, because your segment kind of, I don't want to say it sucked, but there was nothing for anybody to react to until you said that, and now you just gave them something. That Tito Ortiz disrespected you so we could get to the guy actually running.
Yeah, and when Chuck Liddell is done with Tito, I'm next.
Hawk's going to be like, man, Conor McGregor went right through me and didn't even acknowledge my presence.
Shout out to the Minchelada lady, too. She makes a mean Minchelada, which for those that don't know is beer and clamato. It's great. And she treated us well the whole time. 3 of those, and we had a great time. Thank you, Cruz. Thank you, Caleb. That was awesome.
All right. Thank you, Hawk. Beat it. That's not a bad recap until the very end about how Tito Ortiz disrespected Hawk. Went right through him. Hey, you with the stupid shirt and the even stupider mustache, get out of my way so I can talk to the guy who's going to run 300 miles per hour.